Okay, so something that's going to be very important in, when we're studying surfaces is going to be this idea of a normal vector. So question is essentially, what is a normal vector? You've missed vectors, I know. So there are many different words that give some notion of perpendicularity. Normal vector is actually a phrase that we use when talking about surfaces to talk about something that is perpendicular to them. So if we go back to our surface at our point x equals 1, y equals -1, and we ask ourselves a question, and that question is, what happens when we zoom in on that surface? What's it going to look like? So I want you to take a second and try to visualize what would happen if we really zoom in on that point. And here's what we see. So when we look at that, our point now is we're right here. When I look at that, I see a flat surface. And if I see something flat like this, there is a vector that would be perpendicular to the surface at this point. It would look something like this. Right? And pretty much, so we can hopefully visualize that without too much trouble. So bearing that in mind, let's actually return to the original surface. I'm going to erase this while we do that. And say, OK, well, at this point here, we had something that was perpendicular. We could play the same game at, say, this point here. And now the vector would look very different. So at every point on this surface, I'll draw one more because it's kind of fun. At every point on the surface, there's a different vector that is perpendicular to the surface. And so this is the notion of a normal vector.